But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. Woo!
Welcome to the Local Pundit. I'm Josh Anthony. Really excited for today. We have a really talented young man, maybe young man on the show. You may know him as Paul from Apple's hit TV show Ted Lasso, cheering on AFC Richmond and the Crown and Anchor with Baz and Jeremy, or you might have seen him on his YouTube channel, The Undefeated, talking about boxing, or maybe even seen him on United View with Flex and Owen as a Tier 9 journalist, or on his own channel.
I have to.
The self-proclaimed reckless one, Mr. KG the comedian. Welcome, my man.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, man. This feels good. It feels good to be here. You know, we've been talking about this for a moment now, and I'm happy like it's finally happening. So yeah, man, what's up?
There you go. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I like to start this off with the origin story. So football. So tell us your origin story, how you got into football, how you became a Manchester United fan. Love to hear that.
All right. How I became a Man United fan. So there's two, you know, it's funny because there's two stories in it. There's the cool one where you can say, listen, I love Eric Cantona, call us up, and I thought that was amazing. But the other story is I spent some time growing up in Manchester, you know, but no one usually believes it. So and then I got this big English accent. I got this proper London accent. So no one will really kick into that story. But yeah, the early years of my life was in Manchester. We was looked after by a lady called Mrs. Wiggins, and spent a long time there. A lot of my formative years, all my cousins just supported Man United. Like all of us just were looked after over there. And then at some point, my dad brings us back to London because Mrs. Wiggins was cool, but she wasn't cool. It's the easiest way to say that without all the trauma. So that was it. That was where I found the love for Man United. But I think it's like I remember coming back to London, and everyone supported Liverpool because Liverpool was still the remnants of a good team. It's like probably how you see how Man United fans sound now.
Yeah,
that we used to be good. Yeah, bitter and stuff. Yeah, there's still a lot of us remaining, right? And I remember there was still Liverpool fans still a bit gassed. They kind of still remembered how great they used to be. And there's this other team coming up that I kind of wanted to be different. There's other team coming up is like Man United, and that school, primary school, especially was where I think where the tribalism came in, and I kicked into gear, and I found my space in all of that. Yeah, because definitely in year 5. So I grew up in Brixton, and again, Brixton's a very West Indian Caribbean area, and I probably say that a lot of West Indians, when I growing up in Brixton, a lot of them supported Liverpool. Their parents, because of their representation, Sean Barnes and stuff. So it kind of made sense, you know. They had that legend and icon to look up to. So I wasn't feeling that. I was like, I'm Manchester. Let's go.
Manchester.
Yeah.
Did you play? Did you play football?
Yeah, I've tried. I'm dead. I'm rubbish. No. I'm a talker. You know, I'm like a motivator. So I can try. I'm not as good as I would like to be. You know,
that's a lot of people that aren't as good as they like to be at football, me included.
This is it, man. It's unfortunate because I feel like I've got leadership capabilities.
Yeah.
Like I could be a good captain. I just don't have the skill or ability level to actually captain.
But managers manage. And we're at that age where it's like we need to, you know, maybe that's where you're at. Hey, if people works.
This is it. I'm good with the people, skill-wise, and it's like I know what I want to do. I just can't do it.
Me too. I tried. I picked up soccer at 27. Within a month, I broke my leg. So there you go. And I played basketball my whole life.
So I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad. But then I see you play basketball. What position?
I was a shooting guard. Yeah, I was a shooting guard.
Ooh. Yeah. So you got the ice in your veins and stuff. You're like raw, like you can let it go. Yeah.
I was a kind of like a slasher. I'm gonna say like a Kobe.
Yeah.
I'm not comparing myself to Kobe, but I was a
You
slack.
picked, of all players, you really went up there.
I went to my number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me rephrase that. I was nothing like Kobe. I was a basketball player, not that great, but I was a super.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm not that
I was
great.
I was on the college basketball team. I was good at that.
Yeah.
I was better at basketball, but I wanted to play football.
Mhm.
When over here in the UK, it's just not the same. It doesn't people didn't care as much then about basketball as much as they do now. But it was like a selective group of guys that will play basketball, like in the gym.
That's like soccer in the United States. Now or football. Now it's like coming along a little bit here. But back when I was younger, if you played football or soccer, you're like, okay, yeah. But now it's like the thing. All my friends' kids are all playing football.
But are they all girls though? Because I've noticed that is it just all girls that are playing in the US? Because I know it's bigger out there with the girls. Like they're way ahead of where we are at in terms of
really talented women are playing. The World Cup's coming up. Really talented boys as well. Problem with the soccer, football in the States is that they have these traveling teams, and you have to travel so far to go play. The parents are going 100 miles on a weekend, and they got 3 games. They come back, so they're all gassed. So it's a lot of that.
Okay, all right, yeah, man.
So tell us also too. Tell me how you got into film and television, and I know you do stand up as well.
Oh man, you know what? That's a good story actually. Funny enough, I was at uni, and then I was in my final year, and I was like, I think I should be a comedian.
I got an idea.
Random. My wife was like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, I think comedy, I'd be good at that, And she's like, you're funny. The ones when it's like, she actually had to catch up with where I was at in terms of, she's like, oh, this is, And I was like, so weirdly, I think I spoke to someone that wasn't a manager at the time. And I was like, I think you should be my manager. Well, she's like, well, I'm not gonna just manage you, because I knew she was getting places. She's an entrepreneur now, doing really well, got loads of business and stuff. But I could see that she had something special about her, right? And it'll be a good link up. Anyway, she said, well, come and audition, come to my house, see if you can make her husband now, but her boyfriend at the time, see if you can make us laugh. I went to the house, and this is funny because my first real kind of set was my second, but my first real type of set was to this 2 people trying to make them laugh, which is hilarious, right? I was funny though. I knew at the end of that, she was like, yeah, I'll be your manager.
Yeah. Your set? Do you still remember the set? Do you still remember the set?
A lot of it, yeah. But it was I can't believe I've done that in someone's living room. It's so interactive, and it's a lot of energy and this, that, and the other. I'm surprised that when I look back now, it probably is a bit cringe. What was he doing in the front room? Right? But then I think she could see it straight away. And it's I used to do this thing. I used to work with young people as well. And I remember there was this other thing that we did. It was in Fairfield Halls. So you can imagine a theater that holds over 1,000 and something people. And they said, KG, do you mind just keeping the crowd cool before the production starts? I was like, yeah, no problem, I'll do that. Not realizing, that's stand-up comedy, innit? That's stand-up. And at the end of it, loads of people coming to me saying, hey, you got good timing, you should consider that, And it was compliment after compliment. And I was like, even when I was preparing my set, well, I didn't know what it was a set at the time, but then I was like, I wouldn't mind this as a job. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, this would be fun. And there's the feeling of the feeling of being on stage telling jokes is the greatest feeling in the world. I think just everyone listening to you, they're in the palm of your hands, and then laughter happens. You can't compare it. Is everything I do. I love acting. I love football. I love all this stuff. But for me, middle child, I love attention, a spotlight, and a microphone. And they have to listen to me. And then they're going to pay me.
Time you up. Yeah, let's go. You are very, yeah.
Wait, you mean that's nah, really? You know what I mean? You know when you start to say, wait, that's perfect for a personality like mine. I love spotlight. I love attention. I see it and I go for it. And yes, I did that. Had a very good first year. Then I did a sketch and that went viral online, something called Shadrach and the Man Them.
Okay.
And that brought me into acting. That was like I wasn't even ready for how big that got. And then it was just like it's been over 10 years of like 13 years of just graft. And I got my agent 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I got this massive TV show and I never had an agent. I've been looking after all my own deals for so long.
Yeah.
And so I've got a lot of friends in the industry now because I was looking after myself, right? And then there was this one big moment that happened, and I was telling the casting director, this is very rare. Shout out Sally Broom as well. You helped my career in major ways. Thank you so much. She was the one. She said, "Listen, after we finish making this, I'll sit you down in front of every single agent." And and she didn't lie, you know. I met everybody and I got to choose. Yeah, I got to choose. They all pitched, and then I was like, I'm going there. Signed to Curtis Brown with Emma Higginbottom. Thank you so much to you as well. You're a superstar.
Isn't it funny how, like, you know, being on the other side of it too, when people want you after putting the work in and doing that, knowing, like you said, 13 years, maybe it was about 8 or 9 at them, but putting the work in, like, hey, I want to work with you, and you get to choose. That's the win. So
I couldn't believe, and there was one space, I won't say who they are because they're huge. They turned me down the first time. They said, who am I most like? And I was like, I was getting through it. It's like when you just said Kobe a few minutes ago, right? I went between, I was like, I could be like I fancy myself like James Corden, Jamie Foxx. Like, I'm good. Like, I could be in a movie, I could sing, I could do a lot.
Yeah.
And she's like, you should pick something. You should pick one.
Pick a lane. But although the I can't do it. The all right is pretty good. The little, I don't know.
Yeah.
Give us one.
No, I can. I'm telling. She told me to pick a lane, and I thought that's crazy because now when you break it down, even in the intro, like as you said, I act, I talk about boxing, I talk about football heavily. I do a lot of things. Sometimes I don't. When I meet my wife's people from work, and they say, "What do you do?" I just lie. I just say, "Yeah, I'm unemployed."
I'm a guy. Dude.
I'm unemployed.